A 65-year-old grandmother is murdered. Prime Minister Perry Christie reveals that 3 telecommunications companies are vying for the country's second cellular license. And Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival is the center of more controversy. We've got these stories and a whole lot more. I'm your host, Krishna Virgil, and this is the Tribune's Top 5. PLP MP Greg Moss on Monday criticized the Christie administration's new immigration policy, arguing that the restrictions may cause people of Haitian descent to be deported. Greg Moss, the PLP MP for Marco City on Monday, criticized the Christie administration's new immigration policy, arguing that persons of Haitian descent may be deported under the restrictions. Mr. Moss said people in this category are quote-unquote undocumented Bahamians. He further insisted that children who are born in the Bahamas to foreign parents are entitled to be registered as citizens of the country when they become 18 years old. He said the notion that this segment of the population only had the constitutional right to apply for citizenship once they turn 18 was a misconception. Mr. Moss said just as he was committed to defending the rights of any other Bahamian citizen, he would also defend the rights of undocumented Bahamians who would be stateless if deported under the government's new immigration policy. Mr. Moss said second, third, and fourth generation Haitians in the Bahamas are not considered Haitian under the country's constitution. This position was shot down by former immigration minister under the previous Ingram administration, Brent Simonet. He said Mr. Moss was incorrect with his assertions. Mr. Simonet told the Tribune that according to the Haitian Constitution, on the same day that children are born in the Bahamas to Haitian parents, they are entitled to report to their embassy to obtain a passport. However, he said many Haitians choose not to take this route. And more from the immigration scene, administrators in schools throughout New Providence will be able to provisionally accept children of non-Bahamians who do not have a school permit required for the fall semester, Acting Immigration Director William Pratt said on Thursday. He said schools will be able to accept students without a permit with the caveat that their parents have until the end of the school year to comply with the requirements. His comments came as questions persist over how the policy will be enforced. Officials said the permit requirement will be dealt with on a case-by-case basis and is not black and white. Mr. Pratt insisted that there were ways to ensure compliance with the policy that does not involve barring non-nationals from accessing education. Organizers of Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival came under fire this week from a top Bahamian entertainer over their failure to release the name of the international artist performing at Carnival's main concert. The Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival Organizing Committee on Tuesday came under fire from a top Bahamian entertainer, Isaiah Taylor, who urged them to get it together as he suggested that politics was interfering with the Festival Commission as they carried out their duties. Mr. Taylor, the founder of Grammy Award-winning group Bahamen, further demanded to know which international entertainer would be performing during the week of activities. It happened at a press conference at the Malia Nassau Beach Hotel to reveal the first round of local entertainers for Carnival, which included J. Mitchell, T-Connection, Visage, and Bahamen. They are expected to take the stage for the Music Masters concert on May 8th. However, the press conference was sidetracked when Mr. Taylor passionately demanded Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival organizers in the room to reveal with whom they were in negotiations. As he ranted, many in the room lowered their heads while others looked on in disbelief. However, Paul Major, Bahamas National Festival Commission chairman, said the concerns would be addressed, while BNFC Chief Executive Officer Roscoe Dames said to reveal the headlining act at this point might compromise ongoing negotiations. A 65-year-old grandmother was shot in the head and killed in the early morning hours of Sunday. Her relatives told the Tribune a few hours after her death that they were in complete shock over the circumstances surrounding the gruesome incident. Several relatives who did not want to be named gathered outside the victim's home in the Yellow Elder Garden subdivision and identified the elderly woman as Marinetta Hinson, nee Leedon. Police said they launched an island-wide manhunt after the attack and that 3 men were later taken into custody in connection with the case. One of them surrendered to police at the Central Detective Unit on Sunday morning. Authorities have told the Tribune that they suspect it was an act of retaliation. According to police, at around 3:30 a.m., the victim and her family were at home when several persons attempted to burn down their house. Gunmen then began shooting at the home. Ms. Hinson was awakened by the shots being fired. As the bullets rang out, she was struck in the head and was declared dead at the scene. She shared the home on Old Cedar Street with her 2 adult sons. One of her sons was shot in the arm during the incident. He was taken to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where police said he remains in stable condition. Although the government has for months said very little about the process leading to liberalization of the country's cellular market, Prime Minister Perry Christie reveals that he will choose the top bidder in May. 3 companies submitted proposals to obtain the country's second mobile network provider license, the government announced on Wednesday night. They are television and internet provider Cable Bahamas, as well as local subsidiaries of international telecommunications companies Digicel and Virgin Mobile. Prime Minister Perry Christie said that the government is on target to announce a successful applicant in May. He told the House of Assembly that the government will initially own 51% of the second mobile services provider. He said the Cellular Liberalization Task Force, formed last April, has drafted transaction documents to govern a partnership with the government that will allow for a 49%, 51% ownership split. Speaking in the House of Assembly, Mr. Christie said the government has a requirement for the new cellular company to have broad Bahamian ownership. However, Bahamas Communication and Public Officers Union President Bernard Evans said the union would not support 2 of the 3 bidders. Those include Cable Bahamas and Digicel. He said Digicel did not support unionization and Cable Bahamas had refused to meet the union at the negotiation table for the last 20 years. Therefore, he said the union was vehemently opposed to both companies. Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's how you can. Just log on to our website at www.tribune242.com. Like us on Facebook, the Tribune News Network. Send us a tweet at Tribune242 or subscribe to our YouTube page, Tribune242.